Hello everyone, welcome back to another raw, uncut a cappella modeling session. As I said in my previous video, I'm not fully happy about this area here. It's not matching the intention in the scan, and I'll show you how we do that. So there will be some, let's say, somewhat advanced tools that we're going to use and just some advanced CVE massaging. So let's dig into this here. What we need to be able to get here done, get this intention done, like in the scan, is actually having a proper reference. So here's me showing you how to set up a really cool way of seeing that, and it's called custom sections. Now, I've brought up the cross-section editor. I'm going to hit here new and radial, and what I want is I want to select that edge there, or even better, what I'll do, I'll bring up the side wireframe. I want that curve there. So click on new, radial. I'm going to take that and I want, let's say 20 planes. So I've got more higher density in planes here. So I'm going to have more sections around there, and that's going to help me see what's going on there. That's it. And now let me demonstrate that. I'll take these two surfaces. I'll hit that radial group, and you see everything is running like the rays of the sun. And I like working smart here. So let's save up first. I want the history to follow along. So I'll take this surface, these two, I'll take that curve there, and this one. So they are the ones building these two patches. And I will go ahead and see what I can do comparing this to the mesh. So let's bring that up, turn off all the sections on there. I'll get this radial group in here. This one I don't want anymore, so I'll delete this. Let's untrim this surface, this one. Sorry, got lost in my thoughts there. So I'll untrim this last bit here. I don't want to lose the construction history on that, so what I'll do, I'll take these two surfaces. Let's trim this back. Because what I want to do is take these two, template them, and copy pasted new ones in there. And what I'll do is just CV massaging, because I don't want to ruin all of that. So I'll take away these curves on surface, as we don't need them. Take the two surfaces, get those sections in there. We don't need the curves. And there you can see got quite a lot of volume there. So let's put these surfaces on here. And we need to make that dent. So you see this one is nice. This is already denting in. So what I'll do, I'll first align this. The lower surface to that one, hit vector. I'll turn up the CV count to 5 there. This one, we'll see its CV count going up also to, let's say first 3, because it's easier to work with 3. And here on this one, I'll query edit this, and I want the blending to go through. I want those CV rows going through. And what I want is position influence to be there. And you can see here at the bottom, we're actually pretty close. So I don't want that one to change too much. So I'll bring that down to 1. And let's go ahead and work with these. Let's bring this back to degree 3. So we know we will see 1-to-1 the motion there. Now I'll take the CV move tool, proportionally modifying, as we see here it's full, while here it's already dented in, if you want to put it that way. So I'll work with that influence there a little bit, keep it to 1, start pushing these in, and I want a section to run parallel, because I know here I'm a bit off, and I'm happy with that as it is. This one follows in like that. That one looks already better. This is still okay-ish. Now these ones, I'll adjust them a little bit. Pull them out again. These ones come with it as well. And we can already see that there is quite a dramatic change there. So here we need to come out. So this one will adjust itself a little bit. This to come out here, start deviating around there, because that's where our blends will be happening. This one needs to move out as well. These ones stay put because we've got those things aligned there. Let's turn on here, instead of vector, we'll put here skew. Let's pull this back a little bit so that one comes out. That's a flat area I'd like to avoid if I can. These, have a look at them. They look okay. okay in this area. And now we can turn off here, so we can accept this, hit accept, and now turn off the blending. And what I will do now is actually see, so those ones are done. I'd like to bring in a little bit of order here. Over here, this needs adjusting, so that goes in. That one also goes in. And we follow through here a little bit. And here you might pull out a little bit to give that lead in into that area. This one follows in. This one as well. This goes in. This also goes in. This one goes out. I'm trying to emulate those sections there. Go. This will move out. This one goes in a little bit. This one goes out to push that volume there. You see, it's almost like a seesaw, how they work together. There we go. Let's massage this back here in this area. This one will move out ever so slightly. This one too. This one a bit. This one also a little bit. There we go. So that's some CV massaging for you, which gets this done. You know that we're sticking to that edge. And now the next thing that we can definitely do is actually take these surfaces, untrim them, and realign them basically. So that's some CV massaging for you on the fly. Let's align these, projecting them in the Y direction. So I'll project onto these two surfaces this curve here. It's going to be edge alignment onto that curved surface. What I'll do, I'll hit this one onto that and that as well. This one gets aligned there and there as well. Make sure you click partial. And now we project to that surface this curve. And we hide away the curves. That's an edge projection there. We can add one more, two more to the count there. For the position influence. Or position influence. Let's go ahead and just keep it down 5. I'll delete that current surface there, and I'll project it by, I'll align it by projection in the normal surface direction. And let's see. Let's keep this, let's keep this. These two we take, 3 we take on board again. And align these curvature to that, the edge partial. Bring these things back. This gets trimmed back. And now we take these surfaces here and just realign them by projecting them. So I'm just realigning everything so everything is nicely closed up. And it's project aligning. This will need cleaning up. Okay, so let's get this done again. So this will become a degree 2, back to degree 5. And let's align this to this. And let's do this the way it should be done. This needs cleaning up as well. So degree 2, degree 5, and then let's extend this upper edge back to that point there. We'll project the line, this one, to that surface. This other one here. And this last one there. Let's see what the deal is. So align this little one here to that one. And then project aligning this one there. That does the trick. Trim back. And now this gets the same treatment. Align there. Trimming this back. Trimming this other one back as well. I will bring back these surfaces. And I'll untrim this one. Get rid of those curves on surface. And project align these. This gets trimmed back. This gets trimmed back. These two, well, what we will do is actually take the CVs in the lower one and just snap them to the CVs of the upper one. And that should take care of that misalignment there. There we go. Now this misalignment is coming off of that, so when we get to the point where we realign these things and make sure that the connection is running through, that will fall into place as well. But that's not the purpose of today's video. The purpose of today's video was to tidy up that corner, have it working more like the scan, So let's get the sections through. The other thing that we start noticing is that we are missing here a bit of an accent. And you see by that peak there that we are missing. So one thing we could do is, now that we have all of this in place, is we will take that surface there, those three, bring that back. The easiest way to get this under control is actually pushing those CVs out a little bit. So let's untrim that one, that one, that one again. And what we know is that this surface, well, we need it up to that point there. So the good thing about that is that we can actually now extend this back. It's going to be a smaller surface. Something like that. And we realign that there. So that goes, that surface, there goes onto that one. And then this one here goes onto there, partially. This one gets trimmed back. This one as well. And now what we do is hide away from those two, and we push that point out a little bit there. So tangent CV row moves out, that one moves out. This one does the same motion. Then we push this slowly out. And I also want this to work a little bit different. So I'll just planarize the holes in this view. So that also pushes some of that volume out. And if that doesn't do the trick, then this will. And we might need to pull this line a little bit back, ever so slightly. That's more or less it. One of the last resorts that we have is giving it one extra CV row there, and then just taking that and adding a bit more accent down that line. So we'll have it fading downwards. That gives it that extra volume. So I'm adding more volume there as well. By doing that, pulling that volume out there locally. I'll extend this back as well a little bit. Still want that area happening. Now I'll keep it as is. Hide away the mesh, and then realign this to that edge there, that curved surface. That also bumps up the volume a little bit. I'll delete all these curves on surface because I want this cleaner. So I want to do this. I'll extend that surface upwards. Project on in the side view with those curves onto it, and now trim convert it. And delete this one. It's just going to be a lot easier to handle. And now planarize the hull this way. And this way. Take those two surfaces, untrim them. Delete these curves on surface. And then project align these to that surface there. This one there. That should take care of it. This surface here. Untrim it, and I'll make sure that I'll align this one to this one there with blending turned on. That edge stays as is. I'll adjust the CV count on these. And then at the later stage, make sure that all this is adding up as it should be. This gets trimmed back. This also gets trimmed back. And what we know is that we need to realign some of these. Probably these two. This one as well. So that is aligned to that base surface there, the trimmed version of it. Now what I want is align this surface there to that bit without blending. And now we go ahead and project align this to that one, this one on there as well. And we'll just go ahead and do this alignment as well back. Always make sure that when you're trimming, you've got only one curved surface on the same position. If not, you're gonna regret it a little bit. These are coming back. And aligning this there, this one there, this one back there. And now trimming everything back will work as long as we respect some basic things. That would be keeping these aligned with each other. That does it. Not really happy with that, but that's gonna see some fine tuning on my side at a later stage. There we go. Got more of that motion in there, similar to what the original does. And I'm happy with that. And that lays the foundation for the rear lights. And while I've got you here, let's close this here up. And the way I've done that, I've made a 150 radius between that surface and that one. That's easy peasy. That's running up to this point here. And then come up with two more surfaces that connect from that radius up to that rail there. So that surface is derived off of the radius, that little bit there. And that final bit is just closing that up so I see how things are working, and it's giving me an idea of what we will be doing at a later stage. Now, what I want here is I want this to be closed, right? And I'm ready to commit to this surface here, so I will not need the history on that anymore, which is fine. It's actually very helpful. This area here, that's something different, so I'll delete that. because this will require some manual adjustment on these things, and I want these things to work out nicely. So I'll untrim this first. I'll make this to be a degree 2 because it keeps its trajectory, if you want to put it that way. I'll extend it up to that point, and I'll extend it a little bit on this side till it hits that line there. Curve on surface. I'll delete those curves on surface. This one gets untrimmed, and I'll extend it as well. This one we don't need anymore. And when we bring these back, these will help us trim that excess back. So let's untrim this. We don't need that either. These two, they get intersected with that great big surface. That gets trimmed back. This one gets trimmed back. And this one, well, we don't need that curved surface there, that either. And we keep these bits here like this. So that's one thing closed. Now the other one that I want to have is I want that CV to sit at that point there to avoid extra surfaces. And I'll go ahead and take a G2 alignment, projecting it normal to that surface. I'll take that CV and slide it across there. Snapping it to that point there. I want now this CV to slide across that point there. Project that line onto that normal to the surface. I'll extend that there, that there, and I'll edge align it then. It doesn't want to do it that way. Turning it up to degree 5. I'll hit edge there, maybe 6, 7. Let's stick with degree 5. Now project align this one here. And I want to extend that curved surface up to that edge there. Now, again, aligning this one there to the edge partially. This one to the edge, and let's keep this like this. There we go. Now what I want to do is I will extend without merge that surface there. This one will become a degree 5. And what I want to do is actually extend it all the way there. And I want to untrim this. I'll intersect that surface with this one. There we go. And then I'll side view project onto that surface this line. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is I'm generating myself a surface which is taking that contour there. Actually, I might as well just keep that as it is. As it's sitting quite nicely there. What I'll do, I'll just make sure I'm aligning this to that partially. G2, turn on that. Now I'll extend it back. And let's have a look here how big that deviation is. So the maximum gap is 0.1. That's something I can accept because it's a pretty nice surface there. It lines up with that one. And we will have a radius here anyway. So that's a little deviation I'm willing to accept. Now let's trim this back. We don't need that curved surface anymore. This gets trimmed back like this. That's closing up that area there. And now we have that little bit. I don't like these short edge radii, so I want to adjust this surface to this one. And that gives us that area closed up. And that's something we can work on later on. In the next stages, as I mentioned in the other videos, we'll be adding more and more radii. That area will follow and might see some adjustment on my side, but let's see how we do around there. And don't worry about the crooked wheels. That's just me coming up with some nice views there. I like doing that thing. So these surfaces go onto the work layer. Like this, we have that closed up. And we have a nice volume there. Thank you for tuning in, and let's keep up with the build. I'm going to add some radii here at a later stage and work my way through these things. Actually, looking at this, like by looking at it like this, one of the easiest ways to take care of that would be just like that edge along that one. And that will generate us one surface there. So sorry, but I've seen this. I'm a bit chaotic, I know. Bear with me. And things will become more and more interesting. Like that CV layout there. But let's do this before I forget about it. I don't need that surface anymore. Or I'll template it. I'll take these two and see what I can generate there. That's a monorail, what I'm looking for. That along that there. It's actually even better from a technical point of view. It's easier to take it out of a mold. So that's one there. A clean surface, that is. So that's something we can do straight away and get that thing closed up and nice and clean. Because I want to avoid extra patches. So now it's actually the moment where I'm saying thank you for tuning in. Follow along with the build, do what I'm just doing now, and have fun, and I'll catch you in my next videos.